Like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakah Hagadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. Right, so war is brewing up. So I'm gonna read a couple articles and then we're gonna grab a few scriptures. So this here says Biden prepared to add troops near Ukraine threatens Russia with severe cost. And you know, you had Russia send at least 265,000 troops on the Ukrainian border. They pulled back 1,000 troops just to show that they're up for negotiations. So it says the U.S. is prepared to add troops near Ukraine and impose severe costs on Russia if it doesn't stop its aggressive military buildup near Ukraine's border. A senior administration official said on Thursday. So you can see that, you know, prophecy is coming to fruition. You know, because you got a tension between Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S., right? And why is that? Is because Ukraine is wanting to join up with NATO, and Russia doesn't want the U.S. to get close to their borders. So what they're trying to do, the Russia wants to invade Ukraine, right, in order to keep Ukraine from joining NATO, because what Vladimir Putin said in his speech is that if Ukraine joins up with NATO, then America will have the ability to set hypersonic missiles, right, into those borders. And he said, then what would they do with those missiles? You know, he said, even though the U.S. doesn't have hypersonic missiles as of right now, but they will. And actually, I read an article on the U.S. Getting or making hypersonic missiles, right? So this goes to show you that war is brewing up, man. So let's grab these scriptures. Right, so we're gonna grab this in Matthew's. This is Matthew's 24:6, and the scripture says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Because there's going to be things that take place before World War III, right? And what's going to take place before World War III? Well, you're going to have all-out chaos in America. Right? Meaning that you're going to have famine, right? You're going to have people come up against each other for the lack of bread, right? You're going to have the implementation or the mandatory MOTB, right? These things have to happen before World War III happens, right? But you can see that the Most High have tensions high within these nations, right? So it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." So these things have to come to pass before World War III, because World War III will be the war to end all wars, because that's going to be an all-out nuclear war, right? And this is why you have nations like North Korea, South Korea, Turkey, Japan, right? And these different nations are preparing for thermonuclear war. You know, and actually, even though you just had a military drill with the U.S. and Japan, but there's tensions brewing up with them right now, right? It says, verse 8, "All these are the beginnings of sorrows." So all these are the beginnings of sorrows, right? famine, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, right? So here, let's grab this real quick. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. And the scripture says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And we can see that's happening. With tensions brewing up between these nations, it's only going to take one Russian soldier to shoot a U.S. soldier, or one U.S. soldier to shoot a Russian soldier, and all-out war is going to break out, right? Right, let's get this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and we'll start at verse 4. It says, the noise of a multitude and the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. So the Lord is controlling every situation that takes place with these nations, coming up against each other. The scriptures tell you that. And Proverbs, I believe that's Proverbs 21. Let's see. Yeah. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart, who is your kings, right? Your so-called Bidens, right? Your Vladimir Putins, right? Your Kim Jong-uns. These are your so-called kings. So it says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, because the Lord controls the steps of the kings of the nations. When you go into the book of Proverbs 20 and 24, Jeremiah 10 and 23. So it says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, which the word heart goes back to lahab, which means mind. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. So the Lord is controlling the minds of these kings, right? Causing attention to brew up between them to start getting closer to this World War III, right? So let's get this Proverbs 20 and 24. And the scripture says, it says, men's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 23. And the scripture says, O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. So this right here is the movie of the Most High. The Most High have written down scripture, and all we're doing is playing the part that we're supposed to play, right? We are puppets, and he is the puppet master. So let's finish off this article real quick. Right, so we're going to go ahead and finish off this article. So it says, we have said we will increase support for Ukraine's ability to defend itself, defend its own territory, and also to reassure our NATO partners and allies by changes in our force posture and frontline states. All that planning is well underway on our side, and we are ready to act if and when we need to. The senior administration official said during a press call attended by American Military News. Now we're going to get the article on the Russian troops sending military forces to the Ukrainian borders, just to see, just to show you the intentions, the tensions between the U.S. and the U.S. and Russia. So here it says, keep the defender guessing Russian military options on Ukraine. Moscow, Russia deployment of tens of thousands of troops to the north, east, and south of Ukraine is fueling fears and Kyiv and Western capitals that Moscow is planning a new attack. It says Russia denies any such plan, Western military analysts have suggested that Russia cannot keep such troops deployed where they are indefinitely due to financial and logistical issues and would need to pull them back by the summer of next year. Estimates Estimates of the number of new Russian troops moved closer to Ukraine vary from 60,000 to 90,000, with the U.S. intelligence document suggesting that number could be ramped up to 175,000. And like I said, I read a truth that the estimate troops that's at the Ukrainian border is over 265,000 troops. I actually posted that article in the group chat. So, hey, look, you can see that we're coming into those heavy times. We're coming into those times where, like the scripture says, the second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly. What did the book of Matthew 24 say? It says, there shall be wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right? So this is all prophesied in the scriptures because, in the ancient times, what did the prophets prophesy about? They prophesied about war and of evil and of pestilence when you go back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. So, hey, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Shai, because we're at the end of America. And again, before World War III pops off, there's going to be a mandatory implementation of the MOTB. And we can see that because now, they're starting to put the MOTB a lot on certain channels, right? And like we said, weeks back, months back, years back, that what they was going to do is they was going to make it look nice for the people so the people could do what? Go get it. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end it from there and say Barakatah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.